Hey guys, welcome to today's video in which we're going to be covering the lumbering, or perhaps known as woodcutting, skill guide for Lost Ark. So in today's video, we're going to deep dive into what areas that you want to gather in, what you're looking for, what items can be made from woodcutting, and we're also going to have a look at all of the skills that you use up to level 30, like its passives and its actives to get more items. And then we're going to have a look at the differences in prices between NA and Korea. I believe this is important because Korea is much further in than NA, and by looking at both price ranges, you can get an idea for where the current market is at for NA and where it's going to swing based on how old the game is. So today it's going to be much more than just simply cutting a tree like I've seen many other guides, and it's going to have much more in-depth information. So having said that, let's get into it. So before we go and have a look at the locations for the lumbering in Lost Ark, let's have a look at the skills and see what they actually do. So here is lumbering. So here are your mastery skills. As you level up, your mastery skills become stronger. So let's have a look at this. Due to timbering appraising, you have a 12% extra chance of obtaining rare materials. Woodcutter gives you less chance to take damage with your tools, which is really helpful when you have higher level tools because they're annoying to repair. And then you have Lumbering Master, which increases your lumbering speed, which is pretty useful as well. So these are basically just going to level up as you level up your gathering. Now let's go have a look at the normal skills. We have Cut Tree. Basically, this is just the ability to cut the tree. You'll get it level 1. Doesn't matter. Lumberjack. You'll be able to cut abundant trees with a mature logging technique. So this basically means you can unlock the higher tier trees which require level 10. So when you go up to a tree, it's going to have like a symbol on it and it's going to have like a number. If it says 10 and you're under level 10, it's not going to let you do it. It's really obvious which ones you can and can't do. Wild Growth allows young seedlings to grow into a felling tree. So if I do find this, I will use this in this video, but I may or may not find it. So basically what it is it's just a little seedling, like a sprout coming out of the ground, and you walk up to it and you use your ability on it and it makes it grow into a fully grown tree, and then you could chop it down like normal. And then we have Kick Tree. So what Kick Tree does is it walks up and kicks a tree and it uses stamina to do it. However, it has a much higher chance of obtaining materials. So let's go near a tree and I'll show you. So you walk up to the tree, click kick. And there you go. I got resources out of it. So how you can use this is, so for example, when you're wood cutting and you're cutting down level 2 and level 3 trees, when you come across a level T3, which is the highest tier tree, you'd walk up to it and kick it. And then you would chop it down. So you'd get the resources from kicking it, and you get the resources from cutting it down to double up. And you're going to want to keep using this on a high level tree whenever you find it. Okay, so now that we've looked at the skills, let's have a look at the location that we're currently in. So for level 1 to 10, or even up towards 20, I generally just do basic trees in Luth. So it doesn't really matter where you do your low level trees because quite frankly, they're abundant. My personal favorite is the forest here because I can just basically run around in loops however I feel, and the mobs are low level, so they're not really annoying. So I would like to point out that in the other video, we did talk about super armor on our weapons. Let's have a look. So you'll see here that I have super armor, which is rigid immunity, which means I can't be damaged by mobs. So in lower levels, it's good, but in higher areas, when you use it, like at the level 3 trees, the monsters do so much damage that if you're not well geared, your character will actually die, even if you don't get stunned. But in lower levels, you just run around, hit the trees, and just use rigid immunity, and it's pretty easy. You can have multiple people cutting down a tree at the same time to speed it up, but that's just completely optional and something that I just generally don't bother about. As you can see here, I have some soft logs and some normal logs. Finish it up, and we get some more. So, see here, I got sturdy logs. I have a higher chance of getting sturdy logs because I have a good tool combined with my weapon. So you'll see your rates over here, which come from your weapon and your skills. So if I go into the map, let's open up. So I would suggest doing woodcutting anywhere in Luth or Northburn. That's completely up to you. The T2 sets of logs will be over here in Yawn, and the T3 area that I usually do would be located down here at Papanu. So let's jump over to Yawn. So here we are in Yawn. So let's open up the world map. So Yawn is located down here, and then you're going to want to go to the workshop, which is located right here. So when it comes to woodcutting, you're going to want to come right here. So depending on how you're doing your skills, this may be more or less advantageous. However, there are a bunch of resources located right here, so you can do multiple skills at once if you wish. So all of the skills that you're looking for are within this tight circle. The only real thing annoying about the circle is the fact that there's a mob that can AoE stun you. But if you just kind of avoid that, you'll learn where he is, which is located about here and about here generally. Or you just kill him with one ability. You just run around with rigid immunity and get all the other resources. This works really well due to the fact that, for example, when you're gathering herbs, you can kick a tree. Or you can go and do a mine and use your resources and just use your skills to get the higher tier resources while you're training something else. So I would definitely recommend running around in circles for this location and just cut down your trees. So as you can see here, here's the T2, which requires you level 20 to get it. So what I'm doing here is a mistake. I should be kicking it, and then I should be woodcutting. So as you can see, I got 16 sturdy wood just now because it's a higher level tree. The trees do take a while because they're generally bigger and they can have much more HP. But as long as your armor is pretty decent, you don't have to worry about those guys. Even if they do get annoying, you just do an average ability, which just does this. And then, as you can see, that really wasn't that difficult. So when it comes to the level 10 to level 20, 25, depending on how you want to do things, I would recommend coming over here. So a lot of people do actually just stay at the T2 material area because depending on how many people have leveled up their life skills, getting the level 3 materials that we're going to talk about next can be a total pain because they can be flooded. But let's go and have a look at the T3 areas that I generally use and not quite as populated as some of the others. Okay, so here we are over in PAP. So PAP is located down here. So while it is really easy to determine what is where, for example, just by putting your mouse over it, it says what's available there and what tier of materials you can get. I like to use the secret forest. The reason I like to use the secret forest is because I like to run from one side of the map and teleport back. So for example, I'll run here, get all the logs, run here, all the way up here, and then teleport back. That way you basically got a one-track mind instead of going around in circles and honestly getting distracted. So here we actually have a seedling, which I wasn't able to use earlier because I didn't have a seedling, but this is how it works. So you click on your wild growth and use it on the seedling. And now you have a tree that you can chop down or you can kick it. As you can see here, the tree has way more HP, so it does take a while to knock these down, but you can use multiple people to speed it up if you wish. So there are two main ways you can do this. You can either get every log and just basically be satisfied with whatever materials that you're getting, or you could basically just run down this entire map and check out all the trees to check for higher level ones like I'm doing right now. Generally, I do a bit of a mix, because as your skills get higher, you have a higher chance of getting high tier materials, doesn't matter what level the tree is. But here we have a high level tree, so we're going to run up and kick it. And we only got wood, so you're not guaranteed to get good resources. Okay, so let's try cutting it this time. So this is only a normal tree. This isn't a big tree either, so it doesn't have as much wood in it to get. We got 630 wood. Again, the monster can't do anything because I have rigid immunity. And I got 5 wood. So that one was kind of unlucky. So I do want to press the point that just because it's a high tier resource, it doesn't guarantee you by any stretch that you're going to get a bunch of good resources or anything like that. That's why many people don't overly stress about the fact that they only cut down level 2 or level 3 trees. Sometimes they'll cut down level 1 trees if they see them, simply because you still do have odds of getting them. So we hit on the rich tree. This should have 8,000. So here we go. We have 8,000 HP. So that's the basics for the lumbering or woodcutting guide for Lost Ark. So now that you understand how the logs are obtained, let's go and quickly glance at what you can make with them, and then we'll have a look at the mark on both NA and Korea so we can compare the prices. So here we are inside our house. So let's open up our crafting section. So there are a couple of things that your wood will primarily be used for. So for example, in your laboratory, a lot of your things that you would be creating, although you see here a lot of study complete, so it's not showing, a lot of the items that you use to upgrade your base will require basic wood. Another thing that will use your wood would be if you open up your estate workshop and go down to installation. So a lot of things you stick in your house, so for example, this tree uses some logs and it gives you buffs or, you know, special effects for when you're sending away your mission ships or when you're upgrading, when you're crafting. So you want to look through here and see what you want. There's a bunch of different things you can do. You can also use your wood combined with gold to power level your house if that's what you wish to do as well, to unlock some of the later things. Another thing the living tools can be used for is down here. So you have to use, when you repair a tool, it actually brings down the max durability. Now, if you've got a master archaeology tool, for example, there is no way that you're going to want to bring down your durability. So instead of repairing your tool with a normal repair person you find out in the world, you actually need to use repair kits. So you're going to want to use these repair tools to repair your tools instead. And as you can see here, it takes 26 sturdy wood, and it takes another 22 sturdy wood for here. So a lot of your wood is going to be used in your parts that you use to repair your tools. So just that is probably the main use when it comes to the wood, would be either power leveling your house or repairing your tools. As people get more and more tools, it'll be more and more important that people keep repairing the tools properly. So the price on wood should always be pretty steady. Okay, so now that we've looked at that, let's open up the auction house. So the auction house here, we go down to life, we go down to logging, and we open it up. So keep in mind that when you sell the green, you sell 10 units. When you sell the blue, you sell 10 units. And when you sell the white, you get 100 units. So for the 10 green units, it's 9 on average. For 10 blue, it's 47 on average. And for 100 white, it is 51. So let's go across and have a look at the NA comparison. Okay, so here we are on American West server. Let's go to the market. We will go to trading and go to logging. Let's have a look. So currently there are, for 10 units of green, it is 8 gold. For 100 units of white, it is 45 gold. And for 10 units of blue, it's 45 gold, 44 gold. So as you can see, there is actually a lot of demand for the lower level timber. The main reason for this is because it's primarily used to upgrade your house, which many people are still doing 1 month into Lost Ark. Keep in mind that when you're woodcutting, for example, let's say you have a lot of sturdy timber, and for whatever reason, let's say the price changes so the white is better than the blue, you can go into your house and change it to white, which I did show in another video, which I will link below. Okay, so you now have the information as to how to use the skills, where to use the skills, and the prices based on the 2 different servers. So I hope that all of this helps you determine if this is the life skill for you. I will, of course, cover all of the other life skills over the coming weeks, so by the end, you'll have all the information you need to decide on what you want to do in Lost Ark in regards to life skills. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.